On the left-hand side, you can see Big Ben. Can you see Big Ben? Trick question, you can't see Big Ben. Correct. It's the bell. Very good. Yeah, it's the 14-ton bell. It's called Big Ben because the man that commissioned the works was quite a big fella called Benjamin Hall. So Benjamin Hall, so that's why it's called Big Ben. On this side of Big Ben, on just the right of Big Ben, you've got the houses of the House of Commons even, and that's the lower house, so the equivalent of your House of Representatives. And then we've got the really big tower up on the other side. Just to the left of that is the House of Lords. That's like the upper house, the Senate. And got lots of sort of famous long dead men generally here in the middle, statues of them. But one of the more recent ones is of course Winston Churchill here. On the right hand side, his hand in his pocket, the other one on his cane, looking out over at Parliament. He had a good sense of humour because he was the one in charge during the war. We've all heard, well actually you might have heard his war speeches, but he had a good sense of humour. He didn't get on with the first ever female MP. Her name was Nancy Astor. She came from an American family, the Astors, the Waldorf Astors. And she said to him once, "Winston, if you were my husband, I'd put poison in your tea." And he said, "Madam, if you were my wife, I would probably drink it." They didn't really get on. Got a bit of a protest going on here. Actually, some of you looking at the protest there on the right-hand side. So just protesting about whatever really. We love a good protest. So you know, Afghanistan, Iraq, cut to the public sector, whatever it is. It's just a jolly good day out for us. And you know, that is until the missiles start flying. The riots kicked off. It's time to go home, really. But it's hardwired into our DNA on a serious note, and you know, it's something we love to do. It makes no difference at all to any policy coming out of Parliament, but there you go. It's just something that we've done over a few hundred years. Now, the oldest part of Parliament is the large barn-type structure you can see over on the right-hand side with a pitched roof, and that's called Westminster Hall. When Obama was here last year, he was the first president in the history of the United States to address both houses in Westminster Hall. That's a pretty big deal. That's the second oldest building in London. It's almost 900 years old. It dates from the end of the 1000s, and it was previously the law courts. So it's where all the big trials took place. The two wives of Henry VIII ended up getting their heads chopped off, tried there. Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard. Guy Fawkes, Catholic terrorist, tried there. Charles I tried there. Braveheart, William Wallace was also tried in Westminster Hall. Very beautiful building, Parliament. If you get a chance to do a tour inside, they've got tours happening every Saturday, and they go every 4 minutes, so do recommend it. It's a little bit pricey. I think it's about £15. Maybe for a student it would be £9–10. On the right-hand side, the Red Lion pub. One could say that's where the real politics takes place. That's where the members of Parliament meet for a drink, and when they vote, members of Parliament and the peers in the House of Lords, it's not an electronic vote like in Congress, it's a physical vote. They physically divide off into two different lobbies, and they're counted off, and there'll be a bell that rings before a vote, and that rings all over Parliament, and indeed in that pub. So when that rings in the pub, they've got a few minutes to get back. Behind these railings on the left-hand side, Downing Street. That is the home of the Prime Minister, David Cameron. So he is kind of like conservative. He's over on the right-hand side of the political spectrum, but he is in coalition at the moment. You don't have coalition governments in America. In Europe, they're very, very normal, but not normal at all in Britain. So this is the first time we've had one since the Second World War. Coming up on the left-hand side, cameras at the ready. You've got the Lifeguards. This is the top regiment out of the cavalry regiments. They're rather splendid red tunics there. And it's through that triple archway on the left-hand side is where the beach volleyball will be taking place. So there we go. When they haven't got their tunics on there for winter, they've got these really big boots.